Greetings from the satellite of Buzz, high above the earth. We've got two great episodes of Mystery Science Theater 3000, The Return, to talk about today. We've got Starcrash, we've got The Land the Time Forgot, and Starcrash proves my theory, Germans love David Hasselhoff. And my other theory, we've got Movie Sign.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, there it is. As I said, welcome to the satellite of Buzz, the Mystery Science Theater 3000, The Return after show. I'm Christian Bladt at Christian DMZ, marooned alongside the one and only Andrew Mena at Andrew Mena.
That's me.
M-E-N-A.
M-E-N-A.
Don't put any extra N's or
at the
A's. Definitely don't put 4 A's at the end because
Don't
that would
do
be
it.
very awkward. And look, it's very important. The show has its own Twitter at MST3KABTV. You can tweet us there before the show, during the show, after the show, whatever you like. If you're watching us live on YouTube, welcome. Hello, you can see us. We're waving, or at least I'm waving.
I'm waving too now.
Andrew's now waving, but he was grooving when I was waving.
Yeah.
It's a, it's a one wave kind
It's
of
a wave
arrangement that we
groove
have.
situation.
But join us in the chat, and we love hearing from you. And if you're on iTunes, like, comment, rate the show. Very important.
Do all of those things.
We want all of those things because we want to be your premier destination for Mystery Science Theater 3000 after show.
And when you do those things, and you're searching for us on the iTunes store, we come up quicker because people have said something about us and acknowledged that we exist.
So thank you for acknowledging us.
Thank you.
Yes, Sally Field once said at the, I believe it was at the Emmy, she said, "You like me, you really like me. You acknowledge us. You really acknowledge us." And that means a lot to us.
does.
We got to tidy up a couple things from last week before we dive in.
Swish, swish.
Black Robin 7120 said, "Jackie Brown, not Foxy Brown. Stupid. That's me.
Whoa.
I definitely made that mistake. But Foxy Brown, very foxy.
I mean, very.
Jackie Brown, very Jackie.
But she's
So,
also very foxy, so
Yeah.
I get how you made that.
yeah,
confusion.
I definitely made it. And Trend Pimp 1, kudos on the name Trend Pimp.
I mean,
He's Trend Pimp 1.
is he the pimp of Trent, or is he Trent and also a pimp?
Well, he's a trend with a D.
Oh,
so he
trend pimp.
sets the trend
That's
for all.
different
Yeah. So
entirely.
Don Magic Juan or other well-known pimps probably follow what Trend Pimp does. So thank you for watching Trend Pimp.
Thank you.
And he said that the thing I had to look up was from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Message for you, Saya. And I don't think that was the one because I would definitely have gotten that. And I remember that joke being in there. Monty Python and the Holy Grail references are not lost on me.
No.
Monty Python's Life of Brian, also not lost on me. Meaning of Life, maybe a little.
Maybe sometimes.
But anyway, thank you for watching and trying to keep us honest.
Thanks, guys.
And speaking of honest, let's talk honestly about Starcrash.
Oh, man.
Before
Hey,
we-
Farad.
Farad Muhammad, hello, sir.
Welcome.
Always good to have him here. And here's the thing about Starcrash. How did I not know about this movie? How did I not know about a Star Wars knockoff with a Southern twang having robot?
Oh, that Southern robot.
And 30 minutes, maybe 35, of David Hasselhoff, the Knight Rider himself?
Yeah.
Had you heard of this movie before,
I had
Andrew?
never heard of this movie before, though I really enjoy the title, just Starcrash.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, perfect, great.
And
I'm in.
they throughout the course of the episode, they use the term, "Oh, wait, Starcrash." And I
Yes.
thought it was very funny. And, God, it is an amazing, just shameless ripoff of
It is,
Star Wars.
yeah, and it is like wildly difficult to watch. Like,
Yes.
like this one more so than a lot of the ones we've been watching lately was like, oh, okay, oh man, they are. Yeah, this is work.
And
This is
one
work
thing
for
that they
them.
reference is that at one point, our hero, Stella Star,
Stella Star.
at one point, she has on a very skimpy outfit, which, by the way, was her
The
prison
vampire
uniform.
lingerie?
The vampire lingerie.
Yep.
And they go into hyperspace, and, well, it turns into a bikini.
Yeah.
So there's a big side of me, possibly below the waist, that did not mind that decision, but let's be consistent.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't know why they did that. Well,
You can have all the
get-
bikinis you want.
I
just
guess I
give
know
us
why
a
they did it.
reason.
Yeah, exactly. And there's obviously a lot to say about some of the cast and the crew. You know what I have to say to the crew? Shame on you.
Oh, shame.
Shame on John Barry for doing the music. The guy who did James Bond. No.
Wow.
Come on, you can do better than Starcrash. Look, you're disappointed that you didn't get the John Williams gig, scoring Star Wars. But don't take Starcrash.
There was such an alarming number of just shots of the models, the ships.
Oh,
Just-
my goodness.
Just so much of them. At one point, I think Crow is just like, come on, just like yelling at him to move forward. I was like, yeah, man, I feel you.
You know, there is so much setup and models. I realize now, Cambot in the booth, there's a clip I had you pull. It's for this episode. And the guys did a great job with a beach scene, and they whipped up a little song for us.
Oh, my.
And it's 1 minute long, and I want to just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And just listen to this great, they just got in there. They're in the studio during the movie, in the theater during the movie. Let's hear Come Along Baby in My UFO.
Ready, fellas? Let's try one.
The Gallifrey cruisers and the dudes of Iraqi say y'all leave us alone cause they know what the facts is. Got 4 fusion chambers and a tachyon boom. And a cherry paraflux, sealers keeping it cool. On the Kessel Run,
yeah, nobody can touch her.
Let me be the Picard
to your Beverly Crushers.
The gangway's extended
and we're ready to go.
Won't you come along, baby, in my UFO?
Surely no danger getting in a stranger's UFO.
She looks like a kitty cat, but rides like an ace. Serenity and Slave One can't keep the pace.
Whitley Strieber and Ranieri gonna join in the race.
Yeah, my UFO's the coolest GTO in space. From Altair 4
to New San Francisco,
we'll be catching gamma rays
in my flying disco.
Bring your pointy gun thingy
and Tom and Crow.
Yeah, won't you come along, baby, in my UFO?
Batu Barada Nanu Nanu make it so, and climb into the side of a complete stranger's UFO.
Don't do it. Don't do it. What a mistake.
Don't do it. No.
So, first of all, kudos. In true MST3K fashion, I will give them the ultimate compliment. It stinks. But that was fantastic. And that 1 minute, I'm like, oh, this is what this show is. Last week I wrote down all the fake movie titles, and I thought about jotting down all the sci-fi references, but there's just so many.
There's so many.
And it's so well done, and it's 1 minute and 9 seconds. And I watched it, and I'm like, this is perfect. This is exactly what this show is great for. Because if you're watching that movie, well, she's very quietly, by the way, walking around, getting inside the UFO. Oh, no. That is, and there are so many long establishing shots. And
just really quiet moments. In
the original Star Wars, a.k.a. Episode 4, New Hope. I know what it's called. Don't tell me I don't know.
Don't do it.
Yeah, just because I said Foxy Brown doesn't mean I don't know Star Wars. But, that starts with a shot of the ship, and they made fun of that in Spaceballs.
Yeah.
But, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And your models don't look that good. Why are you spending so much time on them? There's no answer.
Yeah. There's no good answer.
Yeah. By the way, Farad Muhammad said he had seen a 6-second clip of the movie before he had actually seen the episode. What in the universe is that? It's a spaceship, and that was actually a great moment.
So
there's so many things to say about the movie itself, and we're gonna stay with the movie, and then we'll go back and talk about some of the host segments.
Cool.
Christopher Plummer, shame on you. Come on. I was mad at John Barry, but Christopher Plummer, you're a great actor. What are you doing playing Emperor? I don't even know what your name is.
David Hasselhoff's daddy.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah, I know, but it's just
Father.
like...
Yeah. That's what it was all for. He's like, oh, I get to play David Hasselhoff's son? Sure.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Now, keep in mind, this is David Hasselhoff before he's David Hasselhoff.
He's like, that kid? I'll play his father.
Sure. So that's why you only have about 30 minutes of David Hasselhoff in this movie.
Yeah.
This is pre-Knight Rider.
Right.
This probably got him the gig on Knight Rider. They're
Nice.
like, that gent?
The
Yes.
guy from Starcrash, he was good in that.
He was
I caught the last half of that.
Yeah. And, the whole setup of the movie, the beginning part of the movie, they end up getting arrested and going to the prison world. They spend 90 seconds on the prison world.
Yep.
And then, it's like, oh, your sentence is canceled. You didn't have to do that escape. Well, then why did we have to watch it? It's just one of those things. And,
oh, man.
Not great chemistry between Stella Star and her.
No, and she sincerely looked like relatively uncomfortable to be in like her boots and like bikini the whole time, like while everyone else is fully dressed.
Yeah.
There's no other female character besides like the woman robot.
Oh,
like,
the women robot, which, lost on Stella Star, by the way. You should have sent Acton down to that planet.
Yeah. Oh, and I guess the other female like guards in the beginning.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
it, really.
Yeah, no.
And they don't really come back.
No. There's no time for them. There's just it's too rich of a story.
You're right.
That there's not time for those minor characters.
Too intense a tapestry.
So we have Acton,
Yes.
and he also gets arrested. And as the movie goes along,
I almost thought that Acton was like Danny from the other movies,
Oh.
but in a wig.
yeah. Well, by the way, and a great reference that they have in there is to the tune of Greatest American Hero. Believe it or not, I'm not William Catt. That was the first thought I had. Very funny that he looked like the Greatest American Hero. That hair was wild.
It was.
Even in space, no one can hear your perm.
Yeah, it was
But-
like straight up Hobbit
Yeah,
hair.
but as the movie goes along, he gets more and more abilities. And where was that lightsaber
He had
earlier in the
powers
movie?
for some reason, for no reason.
Yeah, but I mean, that lightsaber would have been useful earlier.
Yeah. Oh, and I loved the
and his
moment
powers, yeah.
where they were like, "I learned to kill at Juilliard," or whatever.
Yeah.
And just the motions he was doing while murdering was just hysterical.
Yeah, no, exactly. And Farad Muhammad in the chat is very upset for Christopher Plummer.
Oh,
He
I
redeemed
know.
himself by being in Star Trek VI in an amazing role as a Klingon. But
Klingon.
there's still, you know what? I still think there's things to atone for. You know,
Speaking of that giant the lady robot I said,
Yes.
I had a note that was just something for the robots, which
yeah.
I
Oh,
really
that was very
enjoyed.
funny. Yeah. And the giant robot, and then that was very funny because Jonah tells Crow and Tom, you know, like calm down, and then he comments on, I guess, when Stella magically has the bikini on, and
Right.
he's like, no, it's not. The robots are like, no, it's not okay.
Yeah.
So, so in terms of there's a lot to do in terms of the jokes, but I just I knew that David Hasselhoff was in the movie because it's there in the credits,
it's there in
and
the
I just I don't know, we're about an hour into the episode, not an hour of the movie, and I'm like, still no Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a gem that they have, and it's wasted. They haven't used it
actually
yet.
thought at that point, I was like, oh, I get it. Hasselhoff is the robot. That's
Right.
why they we haven't seen him. He's the robot. We're never gonna see, or he's gonna like. You know, I thought like he would get his like helmet knocked off. And it's like, oh, it's actually a guy. He's like a cyborg. He's not quite a robot or something. But
No. Can we talk about Elle the robot? I'm
Oh,
trying to
man.
think of a worse robot sidekick. The old Buck Rogers TV show had Twiggy. Sorry, I said his name wrong. Beady Beady Beady. He was great. He's like right up there with C-3PO and R2-D2. This guy is the anti-Twiggy.
this guy looked like Moltar from Space Ghost.
Yeah.
But like, was it fun?
But why does he have the Southern twang?
I don't know.
That
You know
is
what?
such an odd choice, and you could have easily. Well, I was gonna say you could have easily fixed it in post, but then you'd have to have a budget for post. So probably not.
In my little mind, I built up that like, oh, like that's either where she's from originally. She's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm from Earth, Texas. You
Yeah,
know, back in the day when Earth was a thing.
Yeah, back before Texas was its own planet.
Right. Now it's terribly comfortable for me to have this like yokel sounding gentleman. Reminds me of home or whatever. Like I thought something like that, but who
As
knows?
much as I didn't like him, though, brutal death scene for Elle.
Where
I
he
mean,
gets like crushed by the cow.
I mean, I was
caveman.
4 when I saw C-3PO get blown to bits, and that was upsetting. This was more disturbing. I had to look away at one point. I was like, not Elle. I mean, I don't like him, but I didn't want that.
Yeah, it was just a bummer. It was just really fun. I honestly like was less bummed than I was enjoying it because of Crow's commentary. Oh yeah, it's not gonna kill him. He's just gonna get in and out, and they're gonna show his finger twitching. Or no, oh no, or whatever it
no.
was.
Yeah, that was
and
very funny.
It was perfect.
Yeah, there obviously were there were so many things. I think this one actually didn't have something that I needed to look up, which was kind of a good feeling.
Yes.
The next episode did.
I'm pretty proud, you guys. For the first time, neither of these episodes had
Neither
something
of these
I
episodes.
had to look
I'm
up.
embarrassed. I had to look up something, and
I am
when
a
we get to the second
genius?
episode, you're going to be ashamed.
I know.
For me.
Yeah, I'm already ashamed for you.
Yeah, the H.R. Geiger filing cabinet, I'm like, all right, I guess that's Geiger counter. I kind of knew that. I almost looked it up, and I'm like, all right, I get it. I don't need to do the deep dive on that one. But, you know, the apathetic Amazon cheerleaders, I'm just looking at some of the things that I put in in caps. The song was probably my favorite moment
There
because
were a lot of songs in this one too.
but the song that we played
Yes,
earlier
it
that
was
had my favorite line was, you know, we're not going to break down all the side, but the "I'll be Picard to your Beverly Crusher," and I was just like, you know, and then right away there's like a Janeway line after. So well done, so many great references,
Delightful.
and
Beach Boys kind of feel on that.
yeah, the Beach. I love the Beach Boys song in there, and there was some good stuff that they did when they got to the snow world. They let Tom go sledding down the hill.
that was really
and
fun.
I think that they're doing that really well in all these episodes.
I totally agree.
They're you know
Sean was like, "Oh, can I go too?" Sorry, the scenes are changed.
There were some great running gags in this episode. Oh, like Delaware, which I think they did
Yeah,
4 times
they
too
did.
many, but
Oh, it was perfect.
four
though.
times too funny.
I wrote that down. Like
Yeah.
Delaware, the last time at least was very funny for me.
Yeah. And both of these episodes had, for some reason, a running Andrew Dice Clay impression, which I think is very funny in this setting. Sure,
Yeah.
you know. They did a little singing. They sang from one of my favorite performers, Alice Cooper's "School's Out," except it was "School's Out" for Starcrash, and Starcrash. Oh, I don't even quite get what the Starcrash was, but let's talk about the final introduction of David Hasselhoff,
Yes.
wearing, as they pointed out, a Burger King mask painted gold.
Right. He is a Mexican knockoff Lisa Simpson, I believe.
Yes, that was also, yeah, definitely Mexican knockoff Lisa Simpson. And not his finest work. No. And, you know, when you consider the body of work that Hasselhoff has, it is very detailed. And,
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's hard to, like, critique the movie as a movie because you're watching, you know, Mystery Science Theater, and so it's hard to, like think of it as a film in and of itself. But, like, I think... I thought he did like as good of a job as possible in this movie. It was just funny because what's his name? The main evil guy. You know who I'm talking about?
You mean
Very
the other?
boisterous
There's like
one.
the other guy, the Count.
The Count.
Which
right.
was a great
Right.
reference, by the way. The Count's domain. You mean Sesame Street?
Yeah, exactly.
So I thought that was nice. Yeah.
So that character, he was very over the top and really fun and interesting to watch, but he was also like in a completely separate world from everyone else in this movie.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of funny to see like, oh, okay, so like the girl and Hasselhoff, and they're kind of at this level, and this guy's at this level, and let's kind of jump back and forth between them.
Yeah, no, but that, you know, hey, that to the credit of Stella Starr, she can exist in all these different worlds.
Yeah. That's true. You know, there's a band called Stella Star, and I never knew that was the reference. It might, That probably is the reference. It's one word, Stella Star.
I assume she was 2 words, but I didn't know. Farhad Muhammad, thank you for being in the chat, by the way. Pointed out that there was a Southern Robot in the Black Hole, the Disney knockoff of Star Wars, which when I was a kid, I loved that movie. I have not seen it in, I don't know, I'm going to just guess 30 years. It's been a very long time, probably more.
How funny that Disney had a knockoff, and now they just have Star Wars.
Yeah, well, at that point, they couldn't buy Star
of
Wars.
course not.
You know, you would have had to buy 20th Century Fox, and that's just unheard of. But one more thought about the fact that Christopher Plummer is this
Emperor
Emperor.
character. Yeah.
He has the gold chains on, so it was a
and
great
then
Mr. T joke. I pity the fool, which I appreciated.
yeah.
What were you going to say?
I was just gonna say his like magic power that he unleashes at the end. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to stop time
and
for
it's like
3 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was an option.
So if you stop
Cool.
time, how do you know that it's 3 minutes? Which, you know, let's not go
have
too
so
deep
many
on that one.
questions.
Yeah.
How did you get this power?
For anybody, you know, not in the chat, please tweet us at MST3KABTV. Let us know what you thought about Starcrash. If you were aware of the movie beforehand, good for you. But
Yeah.
this is probably the only way to watch it, I
Yeah,
think. Just
I
because.
think so.
And the running gag, the scene that went on for so long, but it was great for mining comedy out of it. Just all the ships that took off.
Oh my
And all
gosh,
the
yes.
vehicle jokes that they had throughout. I'm a big fan of all of that.
Me too.
And I didn't write them down because there were so many.
There were a ton of them. I
Yeah.
wrote down one. I wrote down a Hootie's Blowfish as like
Oh,
a
Hootie's
title,
Blowfish
which I
was,
just
yeah, that
enjoyed.
one was pretty good. And yeah, so, all right, so let's talk about some of the host segments in the episode because there was a very big guest star.
Yes.
There was a fun little riff on Spin the Bottle. And
Yep.
how fitting for Cinco de Mayo, the Invention Exchange featured the band Ito, which TV son of TV's Frank, a.k.a. Max, had on, you know, he had the salsa in his hat and he had the condiments on. I thought that, you know, very timely, even though I watched it on May 4th. But timely for that,
Timely for today.
BB Servo. And
like that, yeah.
And then, of course, he was very upset that the Lucasfilm lawyers already threatened to smash his
loved
globe.
that.
Yeah.
The Lucasfilm lawyers. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that one.
And then we get a segment where Crow lets us know that he has written a screenplay called World War Space. And there was a joke about the sans serif font, and I have a very soft spot for font humor. I shouldn't. I really shouldn't.
You're allowed to.
Because I will never write these notes that I'm looking at in Times New Roman. And then the unveiling of the Swiss Army planet. Yeah, Crow T Robots World War Space. There was
this was
another
our plan was
segment
fine.
where we got to see Jonah acting as Acton, which was great
That was really
because
fun.
Tom and Crow really looked up to him.
I think he was like $5 for a photo or
Yeah.
whatever.
But then the one of the other host segments we had, Freakmaster Stroke, the big-time space investor, Mr. Jerry Seinfeld.
Master
which
Stroke.
I don't think I knew that he was going to be in an episode.
I didn't
I
either.
didn't know that Neil Patrick
was
Harris was going to show up. So
Entirely surprised.
yeah. So I thought it was very funny. There's some great ideas like the flying drive-in or the lunar dairy farm, things like that, but just turn them all into apps. And Jonah also got to act as the emperor at one point in the show. I think that these were all very strong host segments. And look, this movie needed breaking up.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think that it's the least they could do is break up this movie with some fun.
You're absolutely right.
Your thoughts on the whole on the episode? Movie definitely a little difficult to watch, a bit of a slog.
Little hard to watch. Lots of great like sci-fi references, like you said. We could sit here and list them all off. But like, I really loved how much singing there was. There was a ton of singing. Like UFO song was great. I love Space Church we got.
Oh right.
And there's a bunch of other ones that I'm kind of forgetting right now. But I think we got like 4 or 5 songs at least. Like a solid amount of singing. It was good.
Yeah.
I loved The Stars Are Clear of all charges.
charges,
It's just really funny to me.
When we first saw Acton, there was a Slim Goodbody 2525 reference, which I enjoyed. And then when someone was standing and there were flames everywhere, James Hetfield ruins another Metallica concert because he has caught on fire at a Metallica concert. So
Yeah.
but that was very funny. So many things.
I love when the Emperor, or no, not the Emperor, but when the evil guy was yelling, kill, kill, someone yells,
Faster Pussycat. Yes, I
Loved
took that
it.
note. I was very excited.
top.
Yes. Anytime that there's a Russ Meyer shout out, we'll have an awkward high five that we kind of miss.
Yeah.
Yes. And Jason Blair has joined us in the chat. We definitely talked
Jason.
about the robot with the twang. Stella Star was hot. Yeah, she was hot.
Attractive lady.
And
the
well, what are
future,
you
you
doing
have to be
spoiling
hot.
people who are going to be in the episode? Shame on you.
Whoa.
Shame
whoa,
on you.
Whoa. I'm going to
Jason.
unread those
Yeah,
things.
I'm going to pretend that I didn't know that those were going to happen.
Yeah.
But anyway, so those are the YouTube comments that I want to forget. And that brings us to the land that time forgot.
Bum, bum, bum.
And we start off with a birthday party for Gypsy that turns into everybody's birthday. Very fun. We're seeing a lot of Gypsy. I saw somebody.
I love Gypsy.
Somebody wrote online that they, a friend tweeted a link. It was just like, hey, watch Mystery Science Theater 3000, the new version. It's great. And somebody's comment was, they can't because they have a problem with Gypsy having a regular voice. I'm like, wow, that's your problem. Like, how can that be the thing that keeps you from watching it? She's a fairly minor character that I think gets to shine more.
I feel like that's an upsetting life you're having by stopping yourself from watching a good thing for that.
You may be right. The Invention
I also
Exchange.
don't like pizza because cheese is just too cheesy.
I do agree with that.
I mean,
cheese is way too cheesy.
That's I mean, they makes terrible jokes.
The Invention Exchange featured M. Night Shyamalan's Living, which every article or recipe has a big surprise, as he always does. And then we realized with the Mads invention, the Elder Pump, that they're just stealing inventions.
Yeah, and you know what I really loved? Just when Crow goes, who will speak for the Elder Pump? For the Elder Pump has no voice.
Yeah, which was great.
It's so good.
Yeah, Crow takes up any cause that he sees, someone that he feels is being, unappreciated or taken advantage of. By the way, Boss 467, hi Buzz.
Hey, Boss.
There in the chat. What's up, Boss? Damn it, Jason Blair, I don't read press releases because I don't like spoilers, so shame on you.
Sorry, we're up here in the satellite of love.
Yeah,
and we're not reading all these press releases.
We don't get press releases up in space. We just get this show.
Yeah.
There was a great Navy sketch with the periscope down. Gypsy was the periscope.
I liked that too.
Yeah. Something. But what I really enjoyed was the dinosaur barbecue restaurant. The Moon 14 Mesozoic Ranch Dinosaur
I
BBQ.
wrote that.
Yeah.
I was cackling. That was
Where-
the funniest thing.
Where are those T-shirts? Have they
I
yet
need
to
them.
be? Yeah, because I will pay for them. I'm not even looking for free ones.
Yeah, no.
That's how much I want one. I'll pay money
I
for
will
it.
pay my hard-earned money for that thing.
I thought that was very fun, and then
was
obviously
delightful.
things go wrong. And we'll talk about this during the course of the movie. Their first reaction was, "There's a dinosaur, let's kill it and eat it."
Yes,
But,
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that a lot.
And in another host segment, Crow wonders when he gets to turn into a human, but he doesn't want to. He's
Right.
happy being a cold, soulless machine.
Yeah,
So
he'd rather just be
yeah.
a person.
So-
a robot.
As we go into the movie itself, there are some great references.
Yes.
One of my most favorite obscure bit was Pretty Sneaky Sis, which is from an old Connect 4 commercial.
I know that one.
Yeah. But see, that's one that...
I've got you. Where? There. Diagonally. Oh, no. Where I can't see. There. Diagonally. Because it rhymes.
Yes, because
That's
it
part
does
of
rhyme. A couple of favorite bits. Cheech and Chong go to Venice. Pope's not here, man.
Pope's not here. That was cute.
And
I like
as a big Simpsons fan, Doug McClure.
Oh, I love
Hi,
that.
I'm Doug McClure.
You may remember me from
You may.
such. Yes.
Well, so I wrote one of those Troy McClure Simpsons. It says like, "Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You might remember me from such after shows as Iceberg 1, White Store Cruise Line 0, and The Hindenburg. Whoopsie daisy." So, big Troy McClure fan.
Oh, I love
so
it.
that was
and
exciting.
you know, Doug McClure is actually I looked this up, is actually one of the inspirations for Troy McClure.
I mean, it makes sense, I guess.
It totally makes sense. I just did not realize.
I wonder if Doug McClure did sort of some of those like infomercial kind of commercials. You know, I'm Doug
Probably.
McClure. You may remember me from the land that time forgot, but you probably don't.
Yeah. Odds are you don't.
Another running bit that I liked was, I only wrote down one of them, but they kept doing Matthew Lillard. Matthew Lillard is Donald Sutherland in the Andy Cap story, because they kept doing someone as someone else in the someone else story.
Yes.
Very funny.
Liked it.
The relentless repetition of a joke that they just did not give up on, that makes me laugh really hard. Good work, Bradley. Call me Milton. They
I love
never
that.
gave up on the Milton Bradley.
I love the Milton Bradley joke.
Let me concede what I had to look up. Parentheses, because I'm old. Dr. Steve Brule from Adult Swim.
Yep.
John C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly. He looked just like John C. Reilly, didn't he?
Yeah, but I didn't get it.
That's
I
okay.
didn't know that was a show.
That's okay.
And they missed a reference to Oregon Trail. All that dino meat, but you can only carry so much back to the sub. Absolutely.
I
That's
love
great.
that.
See, this is good. I like when people give us the riffs. Thank you,
Yes.
Jason. That
It's a good riff.
Almost makes up for ruining some future episodes of the show.
Points for Jason.
Just kidding. He's a pal.
Yeah.
You know, he's one of the only communication we have with the outside world.
Yeah.
All right. So we have to now talk about the movie.
Yes.
The Land That Time Forgot.
Right.
I'm sorry. Was there... so we ran into some of the bits and everything. What are some of yours that stood out? And you didn't have to look anything up because you're not as old as I am, and you knew who Dr. Steve Brule was.
So I will say that I didn't have to look anything up, but I did take more notes than I ever for as far as we've been. So I have a lot of thoughts. I'm gonna go through a bunch of them really quick with you.
Please do.
Over here is not a good direction to give someone in fog, which
Yes.
very
That
true.
was very funny, though. Yeah.
This is when they were just in the fog. This is every Star Wars before the CGI gets put in.
Yes.
Gosh, if he sees his shadow, we'll have 3 more weeks of war. Mecha Squid. I loved the Mecha Squid on top of when they were like, "Oh no, we're just playing." Oh, okay, I can see that. It was so funny
Yeah.
and sweet. Turtleneck versus turtleneck. All of the Milton Bradley jokes. At one point, they go Judd Apatow because there's a guy in the background who looks like Judd Apatow.
Apatow, yeah.
They made a Capri Sun joke, which I loved. It would be awkward if they just had a single Capri Sun and they had to share the single straw. This is where they harvest the Paramount logos.
I wrote that one down. That was very funny.
Welcome to Cold Jurassic Park. I saw it first. I call it the Tyler Stinks River or whatever. The Night's Watch will never see it coming. And then another one later was Hodor, because of course you got to make the Game of Thrones references. We're streaming live on Periscope. I hate myself or whatever
Yeah,
it was.
but there was a I Hate Myself, and then there was also like something about pirates. So does that mean this movie's rated R? So like
Yeah.
they make those jokes that
Yeah.
they know are very
They
bad.
absolutely do.
And those make me laugh.
I loved that he was when the dinosaur attacks the Periscope. He goes, "Oh, he's getting flashbacks from Dino Nam."
Oh yeah, I wrote that one down. I don't know.
God, when the guy dies, is first eaten by the crocodile. It's like, "Oh, there was chili in his pockets."
That's one that I thought was very funny.
really funny.
Yeah, there's an Orinoco Flow Enya reference, which I'm like, whoa, all right. And for the sci-fi nerd, there are Tribble and Borg jokes in the same episode. One that I really liked, it's a U-boat. A me-boat?
A me-boat? Yeah.
That's a dumb joke, but
So
man, I
dumb.
love that. I'm sorry, and I just wanted to
No,
throw a
you're
couple
great.
in there.
I was just gonna say when we finally get to the eating the dinosaurs, like you said earlier.
Yes.
Why wouldn't it be safe to eat? White wine or red wine? And this is them in the show, in the movie.
Yeah.
White wine or red wine? Oh, we just killed a dinosaur.
Yeah, exactly. And what wine pairing does go well with dinosaur
That's the
meat?
question. I want to say red.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it
I
has
mean,
to.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
I loved the African Queen reference. It was like, oh, we're
Yes.
gonna run into Humphrey Bogart. and
Katharine Hepburn,
Okay, yeah, Katharine Hepburn. You drink copies of Waterworld?
Yeah,
Loved
that was a good reference.
I think it's more accurate to say chicken tastes like dinosaur. I will. And it's like, if God is my witness, I will kill every one of these miracles. It's just one of my favorite lines. I was cackling.
like of all time. One that I thought was great was, "You don't know how deep." Radiohead deep, which was great. They got to use some New England accents when somebody mentioned New England, which I thought was very fun. Storage Wars Submarine Edition.
Yes, I like that. I loved that Milton Bradley had a long moment, like probably a 5-minute segment where he had his like mouth open, like doing something, and they kept going like oh every time he opened his mouth. I just wrote down oh like. So that was great. That was super great. And it's just dumb stuff like that I'm super in on.
Yeah,
for
when
two.
they're eating the dinosaur, of course, the pointing out, now that's a paleo diet, which works on multiple levels,
And then
which
later
is
they're
fantastic.
gonna need more recipes when they kill like 3 or 4 dinosaurs.
Yeah. Jim Henson's Lou Ferrigno babies was great. And when the cavemen's running away. Come back and tell us how we can save 50% on our car insurance.
He's like, no, you're supposed to oil the Tin Man, not the lion.
A reference to Walk the Dinosaur. They do a little sing along. Everybody shoot the dinosaur, which is the
Everybody
was
shoot
not
the
was.
dinosaur.
Yeah, that was fantastic. A reference to Cousin Balky, Perfect Strangers. That gets my attention absolutely. To Doug McClure's Dream of Electric Barbecue, which was just that just felt good.
Something about you're watching this only because we have to.
And as I've talked about, I in the past worked with Dennis Miller. There's another Dennis Miller impression. He makes Encino Man look like Niles Crane, Chachi. So anytime there's one of those, I always want to point those out, which I thought was great. And I wrote down the same one you did, where they're watching only because we have to.
Yep.
And there's a point when they're sort of putting the dinosaurs to work, and they're putting the cavemen to work. They referenced something that was always a joke in the Flintstones. It's like, oh, we forgot to say it's a living.
Yep.
Hey, it's Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young.
I wrote that down too. We actually didn't mention, this reminds me of one I had from the other movie.
Yes.
But we didn't mention when they were like, Flintstones versus Jetsons, when it was the cavemen.
Yes, I had that.
David
Flintstones
Hasselhoff popped
Flintstones
in.
versus Jetsons.
But yeah, I also loved, so right in the moment you were talking about, there was the 2 Triceratops, right, that they're about to shoot. And there was there was a moment where they go, we're doing Waiting for the Godot. This is Scarlby, and I'm whatever. And they had these wonderful Frasier-y voices. And then after that, one of them dies, and the other one goes, perfect. I stand to inherit millions now, or whatever. Oh, it was so good. I love that.
The sort of the destruction for the dinosaurs was great. Like, repent! We were told it was going to be a comet!
We were told it was going to be a comet.
Armageddon, tired of this. Bad pun. I'm going to write it down. He's holding the first Far Side cartoon. And the final one that I have is, when it says the end, or is it? The land that time forgot will return, and the land that time forgot too, the remembering.
I like that. I really love the last couple I have are 6 more Big Macs. The whole Big Mac sequence. This is how Doug sees the world when they're like, weren't there a lot of people in this scene? And now there's just Doug and the other guy?
Just Doug and the
This is
other
how
guy.
Doug sees the world.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. The actual fire is like, oh no, that is actual fire. Doug
that's what I was going to say is, we can make fun of Doug McClure, but he
ran
had
through
actual
actual
fire
fire.
thrown at him.
Yeah.
You would never have that happen now.
mean-
Troy McClure never would have done that, but
Nope.
Doug McClure,
Not
he
for this
did.
kind of money.
Something that ran through both episodes, which I think they did in an earlier one too, is the Morgan Freeman narration.
Oh, I liked that. They did the Penguins one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anytime that you can get that in there, it's great.
My very last one is
Yes, please.
is when Jonah just calls his groinological region.
The
I just think that's a great word for it.
I think it's a word that we should try and popularize
Yes.
here on the show. Anyway, those are our thoughts on the episode, but we always want to know what everyone in AfterBuzz Nation thinks.
Yes.
Everybody out there, MST3K
That's
fans.
you.
That's each and every one of you, and you, and you, and you. So please
of
let us
you.
know. You can tweet us at MST3KABTV. And we are going to be back next Friday.
It's true.
We are going to be back around noon, a little bit after.
Okay.
I'll give you 13 reasons why we might be a little bit late. Little inside joke here on the show, on the panel. It makes us laugh. It sure does. There's a lot of mugs in here. Anyway, we will be back at noon on Friday, and we'll talk about 2 more episodes if Jason Blair doesn't ruin them for us. Just kidding. He's a pal.
Yeah.
Anyway, so thank you. So for Andrew Mena, at Andrew Mena, I'm Christian Blatt, at Christian DMZ. Follow us. See what we're up to.
Follow us. Tweet at us. Like us. Subscribe.
This isn't all we are.
No.
Follow us during the rest of the week.
Find out what our lives are like when we're outside of this satellite.
Not much, because we're never outside of the satellite. Anyway,
we saved you a lot of time just now.
We did. So, and everything you said, I interrupted, very important. Like, comment, rate, all that stuff, very important.
Leave us some sort of message, and we'll communique of sorts. We'll read it.
So all that's left is for Andrew to push the button.
Well, I guess it's that time
So
again.
push the button, Andrew.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.